All right, hello Capricorn, and welcome to your August 2025 Money, Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance reading. Like I've been saying in the other readings, I've been feeling really good for August for all of the signs because the messages, the energy that's been coming through has been pretty powerful and pretty, dare I say, profitable, beneficial as it relates to our money, our wealth, our finances, all the good things. So Capricorn, let's go ahead and tap in. Whoa. See what is showing up for you. Now here's the thing. I am getting that you are going to feel a little emotional. And the reason why is because something has definitely shifted as it relates to your money, and I actually see you walking away from something that emotionally is difficult but financially is really good. Now this is probably going to be a relationship for some of you. You know how sometimes when you're emotionally invested, emotionally attached, and you know that when all is said and done, it's costing you either financially and in other ways, like spiritually, mentally, maybe even physically. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like you finally come to the realization, Capricorn, that you need to disconnect, walk away, because as much as it breaks your heart, you cannot do this anymore. It's financially unbearable. Now, the good thing, though, is that once you make this decision and you start to disconnect or disassociate or separate yourself, that's when things really unlock and start to flow. All right, because you're going to get a little bit more stability, actually a lot more stability by walking away. Yes, it's painful. Yes, you know that this is what you need to do. And things really start shifting and changing. And they may feel a little disruptive in the beginning. And like I said, you're not tapping into all of the things that are available or accessible to you. And then we got that Six of Wands, which is interesting. Because that Six of Wands means you attract a lot of attention, although you're not expecting it to. And when you attract a lot of attention, it means that you are creating some opportunities to make some money. But emotionally, your heart's not in it. So August is going to start off, like I said, kind of emotional. Oh, look at that. It's going to start off emotional, but I'm telling you, this is going to pay off in more ways than you anticipate. All right, what else do we need to know for Capricorn as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for August 2025? Oh my goodness, yes. All right, so I told you, Capricorn, the first week is you coming to the realization that you need to let something go. For some of you, it's going to be a relationship, or it's going to be a friendship, a partnership, something like that. Something where the emotions are very heavy. Now, this could even be a job. I know I have done this where I've stayed in a job because I was really close, with some of the people I worked with, or maybe I just developed an emotional attachment to the work over the years. And so when it was time to leave, it was difficult. It was really difficult. And that's what I'm seeing here. But when you make the decision and when you start taking the actions, this is where things really start changing, because you got the Ace of Wands, which literally means cash is coming. We got the Ten of Swords, and yeah, it's painful, but you got to walk away. We got the Knight of Swords, which means this is that fast-moving energy. Now, the thing about the Knight of Swords is that sometimes when he shows up in a money reading, it means things are a little bit shaky temporarily. It means that things are not quite as stable as we need them to be, but that's okay because we're doing the work and doing all of the things that need to stabilize our situation. Because look at the next card, it's the Knight of Wands. That's the financial support and assistance coming your way. Then you have a new offer or an invitation. All right, Capricorn. So your walking away from something is going to pay off and benefit you financially. I don't know how it's going to play out, how it's going to unfold, but you stepping away, disconnecting, like I said at the beginning of your reading, is going to help you hit your payday. Now, this could be a new job. This could be somebody finally pays you money that they owe you. It could be a new opportunity, a new business. I mean, it could be anything. Because what happens energetically is when we are, you know, sucked into something that's draining emotionally, financially, it actually eliminates new things showing up for us. It eliminates the opportunities because our bandwidth, our emotional bandwidth, our mental bandwidth cannot receive it. All right, and I hope this is making sense for some of you Capricorns, because this is literally what I see playing out here. Now, the other thing, Capricorn, is that it's not going to take you long, you know, to turn things around. Yes, you're still healing. Yes, you're still dealing with, you know, the emotional aftermath, but I'm telling you, you're going to be very happy you made this decision and you let whatever this was go. Like, really, you're going to be very happy, Capricorn. All right. And like I said, this is going to pay off. You've got new money coming in. Look at that, Ace of Cups. Like, really? Six of Cups. All right. So for those of you who do disconnect from a personal relationship, that person is not entirely gone. Now, I don't want you to worry about that, because I feel like they want to change, they want a second chance, they want to rework things. But you're going to stay strong, Capricorn, because you know your finances cannot deal with, dare I say, the burden of this connection, this relationship. All right, so we got the Ace of Cups. Now, here's where I say I think they're going to want to start over. They're going to want to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'll get a job, or I'll pay you back, or, you know, I'll do something different, which may work temporarily, but it's not a long-term solution. And the thing is you're in the position, once we hit the second half of August, Capricorn, where things are really flowing, things are really growing, things are really expanding for you, and that makes you very attractive to new and old associates. Now, we also have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is you doing things out of the box, you doing things your own way. That totally works. You know, I'm a huge fan of that when it concerns sometimes strategic moves as it relates to business and money. Then we've got the Four of Cups, where somebody makes you an offer and you have to say no. Why? Because you got your own stuff going on, Capricorn, that is very profitable, that is making you money, that is helping you grow and create the life that you want to create. Now, that Judgment card means that, you know, you're still doing the inner work. You're still growing. You're still figuring out what is working and not working for you. All right. And then your communication is strained. I'm not surprised, like I said, because whatever you disconnect from here, when we hit the second half of August, that's going to be somebody not understanding why you are doing what you're doing. But that's okay. I say it all the time. Just because somebody's not on board or they don't agree with how you're, you know, doing whatever, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means they don't like it. and that really doesn't matter, especially when we're talking about our money here, right? We're talking about getting stable. We're talking about getting paid. We're talking about making the money we want to make, regardless of what somebody else says or does not say, or, you know, does or does not do. At the end of the goal, you know, the end of the day, the goal is to get paid. And that's what I see happening here. So Capricorn, you're getting paid. You really are. And it really hits the second half of August. And like I said, not everybody is going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. But it doesn't matter. What does matter is us securing the bag. Ooh, interesting. You got that Six of Wands again. Six of Wands here. Unexpected attention. Attention. People see you, Capricorn. People see you. Look at that. And then we got the Knight of Cups. All right, this is the person finally going away, at least for now. Like I said, whatever you disconnect from here, and it may not necessarily be an actual person. Like I said, for some of you, it may be a job, it may be a business, it may be a situation, but it does get resolved by the end of August, okay? So you don't have to worry. Oh, geez, what is this guy doing? So this Seven of Swords, Capricorn, you have someone who is very, very jealous. Now, I don't really believe this person is a threat. However, you will know and you will feel that somebody is jealous, envious, you know, doesn't like that you're winning. And so the way to deal with this type of person is to keep winning. All right, that's basically what I'm seeing here, because we got the Ten of Cups. That's a positive card. No matter how it shows up in my readings, this means you're winning. Happiness, joy, success, maybe to a lesser degree, but it's still all good. We got the Queen of Swords. Now this is you needing to cut something or someone off, but sometimes you're a little bit too nice, but be careful with that, all right? Be careful with that, because it could get in the way of your money. We talked about this, you attracting attention, all right? And that's probably why this jealousy card showed up. We also have the Eight of Wands, which means things are slowly changing, but don't think that because things are happening slow, that things are not happening at all. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Capricorn, things are changing for you. Maybe not as quickly as you'd like them to change, but they're changing, you know, in your favor, to your advantage. We got the Knight of Cups. And I'm feeling like this and this card is related, because the Knight of Cups means somebody makes a promise and they don't follow through. And it could be this person who is extremely jealous and envious of you. And remember, I told you, that doesn't mean you stop doing what you're doing. Just because you have a hater, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That doesn't mean you stop winning. It doesn't mean you stop growing, stop making the money. No. If anything, that's just confirmation that what you're doing is right and is working. All right, so I feel like, you know, let me get one card to clarify that, Capricorn, just to be sure. All right, what else do we need to know about this person and Capricorn's money? Yep. We got that Tower card, but it's in the reverse. Now, the Tower card in the reverse is a good card, because remember, that is deconstructing something, breaking something down. And I feel that this is, like I said, a relationship, a person that does, you know, break away. And the thing is when someone shows their true colors, you immediately know how to categorize this person, and that's what I'm seeing here. So again, don't be afraid to disconnect, because it could indirectly impact your money, and we don't want that. Just like what we talked about in the beginning of your reading, we don't want that. All right, we're going to be very strategic here as it relates to, you know, protecting our energy, in addition to protecting our assets, our money, our time, our resources, and all of the things. All right, but you're winning, Capricorn. You cutting something off definitely pays off, and it brings you success, more success than you could even imagine. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Secret Language of Color Oracle card. Ooh, aw, pink. Let love in. This is card number 4. What a beautiful card. All right, so pink, let love in. I feel like this is more about self-love as opposed to like romantic love. You know, sometimes it's about loving ourselves more than anyone else in order to show up in a way that's beneficial not only to ourselves, but to those around us. So that's what I got for you, Capricorn. August is going to be exciting. I hope you're ready for it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it again next month.